seems that to be mad at me. Okay. If Rach has understood what I'm trying to do. Okay. See you later. Bitch! Wait. Did I
don't know the season, or what is the reason, I'm standing here holding my blade. A desolate place, without any trace, it's only the cold wind I feel. It's me that I spite as I stand up and fight. The only thing I know for real, there will be blow.
Blow? Okay. Hello? They hung up. Right. Blow these nuts. Right. What am I supposed to do? Hello? You picked up the quarter. Wait. 9, 1, 1. Okay, it doesn't do anything. What am I supposed to do? Oh, I can move. Empty. I have to turn off the lights or cleaning lady. Okay. Just turn it off. Oh my fucking god, dude, I cannot. Fuck off. Someone knocked on the window. What the fuck? I'm not looking back. I'm good. Maybe I'll buy something. Get an elevator. Okay, I'm going. Safety rules. Press button for desired floor. Elevator gate will automatically close. Elevator will stop at desired floor and made additional stops for the other passenger. On arrival of a floor, elevator gate will automatically open part way. Oh no, I'm drunk. Will get balanced to the distance by hand. Lift elevator cabin at once to stop elevator emergency. Stop to summon help. Call Eli North Elevator Company. Okay, I think I want to go to the basement. Close your fucking door! Oh my fucking god! No, close your fucking door! Oh my god. Is that an eye? Hey you! What am I? If I is stuck now, I'll try to do something about it. Okay, thank you. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I just wait. Do not try to get out on your own. Okay, sir. Pull up, pull up. Sorry. Sorry, sir. It's me again, I'm up here. The winch seems to be jammed. I'll try to figure it out. Okay. Thank you. It's a nice jam. After I'm done here, I have to go down to the technical floor and restart. Okay, understandable. The generator. Okay. Thank you, sir. Country road. Take me away. Na. If you are fed up with the music, you can enter the code 666666 and then oh!
Where is she?
Jigs with 21 months. Thank you so much for the resub with Twitch Prime. Twitch Prime. Jesus Christ. Thank you. Appreciate it. 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no. Oh god. Oh no. Okay. We're gonna die. Hell? What am I supposed to do? Oh, it stopped. Okay. Technical floor. I guess we'll want to turn on the generator. I think this game's supposed to be played on VR, but it didn't promote it that way. Oh my god. Hey, what's up, Noz? Long time no see. How you doing? What's up? Staff lounge generator. We can check out the staff first, right? Okay, door's locked. Do not play on or around. Hello? Right. Oh shit. I need a key card. Fuck. No Batman. There's actually one of the OG alert. Rare to see that one now, since we added so many. Why is there so many blood, bro? another locked one. Too bad the fucking FPS is so dog shit. The game forces the FPS to be capped at 25. I'm not sure if it's because of a VR bug or something. Wait, what? Okay. The pipe's full of blood. Okay. It's just marjan. Hello. Okay. Locker room. Locked. Staff lounge. Any staffer? Oh, there's a staff. Sir. Hello. If you need coins, looks in Mitchell's locker. Okay. No, I think you don't understand what's going on. Jesus Christ. He's really reading that. Okay. Alright, man. Da-na-na-na. 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 Oh my god! I have lost. I lost. Wait, another flashlight? Oh, fitta! Okay. Mitchell, Carpenter. Hey! Oh, fitta helvete! I just want to check the name. Isn't this John Carpenter? Fucking guy who created Halloween? James Wan. Oh, this is name of the horror movie directors. Kudrow, I forgot his first name. This is also a popular director. Nakata Eggers. Alan Astor is the one who created who directed fucking Midsommar. Deme Toyama Uskieri. Yeah, this is some fucking some epic movie directors. I still need to watch Midsommar. I still have not watched it. What is this? Tim Kudrow. Jesus, my ear. This game doesn't look that good. Why is it big laggy? No, it's not unoptimized. It's bugged. Because of, I'm assuming it's supposed to be a VR game. But you can play it on... There's something that I don't know about how to fix it. But if FPS is capped at 25. My +1 went to get some wine, so I got a minute to say I hope y'all are having a wonderful weekend. Thank you! Hope you too. Hope you're having a good one too. Go get that wine. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you. Okay. But yeah, this is giving me a little bit nausea, but we're already halfway. So let's just roll with it. Since it's just a demo, this shouldn't be that long. I guess if this is actually pretty good, we can check out the full game on VR when it's released. I don't think we ever played a horror VR game yet in this channel. So if you guys are interested in that, I mean, we could. But yeah, oh Jesus Christ. I may or may not gonna smack my fucking headset. That would be funny content, right? Haha. Okay, I think we're good. I think we can use the elevator again. Okay, it looks different. Oh, you want me to press a stop? Okay. What? Oh god. Hello? Open? Hello? What? Oh. Wait. I saw something. Ah! 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Help! Did it bug the game or something? Oh my god, not again. What is it? Hey! Fuck. Bro. Are we... Is this like the end of the demo? Sorry. I think this is the end of the demo. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I think this is the end of the demo. The game just like don't want to proceed anymore. Hello, yeah. I mean, I'm not too sure either, but yeah, that's painful. All right. that was The Fridge is Red. Very absurd horror. Still a demo, not out yet. Hopefully gonna come out pretty soon. Because that would be a good VR horror game. Alright, next one. Next game is a game known as... Is this on Steam? It is on Steam. Oh shit. The next game is known as... Who came in the elevator? Come? Huh? Okay, I crashed it. God damn it. Alright. Oh! Never mind. Oh no, safe. The Last Worker. This just got announced yesterday and today on 2 different expo. So it looks like it's a very quality stuff. Hopefully. Check it out. Oh, I got a pretty fucking awesome voice actors. Audio. Play voiceover without positional? I don't know what that means. Okay. Oh, the guy that tried to fab and the robot kept watching? Yeah. JFC. Jesus fucking Christ 1. So this one is actually interesting. Based on the trailer? Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh, go Giga. Oh. Oh shit! Grill friend. What? Oh, she left. Wait, why? What? Why did they fight and left? What? I don't get it. Explorers 1. Oh, he's the only employees left. Interesting. Chapter 1, Old Dog, New Tricks. You are Kurt, the last human worker at Jungle. Oh my god, give the company Jungle. googled it, holy shit. Bold, brave. The greatest company on earth. Everyone else has been fired except you. You have been the perfect employee, but all good things must come to an end. Day 9126. Hey, Vita! Fuck me. Is that necessary? Are you shitting me? Jesus.
The world feels strange when you haven't slept.
Good morning.
You start seeing things.
I'm Skew.
Odd things.
I'll be your cobot today.
Hang on a sec. Where am I? This is not... I'm not supposed to be here.
Hello, young explorer. I'm Skew, short for Stock Keeping Unit. SKU. Get it?
Yeah, I get it. Now, can I have my controls back, please?
Since this is your first day at Youngle, I'm here to teach you all the basics.
Okay, Skew, I've been here for 25 years, but...
It's never easy training for a new job, but that's what I'm here for.
Looks like someone needs a reset.
Sorry? Can you break something you write out for one in time?
You're glitching again, Skew. I don't need a lesson. I know what I'm doing.
The day one tutorial is mandatory, I'm afraid.
Come closer. I think you need a reset.
Threatening a Youngle employee is strictly forbidden.
Come on. You know you need a punch.
Security!
Hey, whoa. I'm just trying to help you. Okay, you know what? Screw it. Carry on. I could use a break.
Got to put left, but I don't think you'll go down over here, but on the left, but you'll go up on your hats.
Great. But first, let's learn how we get around, shall we?
Huh. Okay.
All right. Place your hand on the big stick on your left. Just right there, on your left. And hit the gas. So how does it feel holding a big long stick in your hand? Pretty good, huh?
Hey, can we just cool it with a creepy sexual innuendo?
Okay, good.
Big long stick?
Now, jerk it around a bit. Give it a good old jerk.
Skew, stop.
You got it.
I'm jerking it. I'm jerking it.
That leads me to the big question. What is it that we do at Youngle?
Yeah. We deliver...
We deliver dreams. Repeat after me. We deliver dreams.
We deliver dreams.
So, let's make someone's dream come true. Let's go get our first product, shall we?
Sure,
Yay.
Full steam ahead, Captain!
L.
Forgotten how painful this tutorial is.
Did you know JFC-1 is the largest fulfillment center in the world? We're almost as big as Manhattan.
Manhattan went underwater years ago, buddy.
Oh, God.
Great! That means we're bigger now.
Oh, yeah, great. So much to celebrate.
In a place this big, how do we find a product, you ask?
Am I supposed to say something here?
Good question. You need GPS. GPS is your friend, because I want to always be here to hold your hand.
You won't? Oh my God, whatever will I do?
No. You know I'd love to, but there are thousands of new explorers for me to teach.
I'm sorry to break it to you, but I'm the last one.
You
okay there? You sure you don't need a reset? It'll help, I promise you.
I do.
See that arrow on the map? That's you. And the shiny dot, that's your next product. See it?
Uh-huh.
But don't worry about the map. The GPS will save you all the thinking.
Yeah, would want to think on the job.
Oh, it's broken. So all the robots are replacing the human because they require they're much stronger and require less power and money. Oh, water. I actually need that. Thank you. What's up, Salchira?
JFC-1 is so huge, our first product is way above you. So grab the horizontal handle on the right and lift it up to soar up.
Can you sound any more condescending?
But we're not descending. We're going up.
Eiffel Tower, Empire State Building, JFC-1. Jesus Christ.
Look. Isn't it just beautiful? Millions of miles of boxes. each one containing a dream come true.
He still saved
That's
the
what
picture
we
with
live
his
for.
wife.
Delivering dreams.
Yeah, we've established that.
It's easy to marvel at the wonders of Youngle, but remember, here at Youngle, time waits for no man.
You can say that again.
It's easy to marvel at the wonders of Youngle.
Stop.
He said, bundle in my hand pants. Each product is urgent. You need to get to it before the timer runs out. There it is. Your first product. No one forgets their first product. We've marked it with a green light for you. See? Up here.
What's up, Payne? How you doing? We're getting there.
Look, I'm up here. Now this is where it gets fun. Because you have to pick up your product, point, and squeeze the trigger. Now reel it in. It's just like fishing. You dropped the product.
I dropped it. Don't worry, don't worry. Alright, manipulate the product.
Now gently place it on your pod. Easy does it. And release. What a happy ending.
Nice.
It's closing. Shit.
You fell through the door. Oh. Restart. Oh. I lost.
It's closing. Shit. Close. Look at all that dust. I'm not sure we're supposed to be here, Skew.
That's right. Go and find the dispatch point.
No, what I meant is this area should be off limits.
At Youngle, there are no limits. Not even the sky. Okay, Explorer. Go explore!
Alright.
Sweet, sweet silence.
So, where do we want to go? I guess let's go to the blue. So, I guess...
Not you again.
Oh, but it is me.
I know, Skew. I was just,
Look at the dispatch point. Big and blue and hungry for...
like that?
Boom! Swish! Oh, look. Baby VR glasses. Girly pink edition.
Baby
Sexist,
VR.
isn't it?
I don't think
Yikes.
it's sexy. I think it's lovely.
I said sexist.
You've just made someone's dream come true. How does that make you feel?
Off.
It makes you feel off.
No, I'd like to.
Sorry?
I'd like to turn you off.
Oh, look! Our next product! Race you there! Whee!
Holy shit, it's so annoying. Jesus Christ. Oh shit, chapter 2. The last activist. The mysterious hover bird is trying to recruit you. She is with Spear, aka the society promoting an end to automated redundancy. They're about to show you a darker side of Youngle. This is a game about you're the last human in this giant ass company that controls the world, and yeah, you're just trying to get by. But something.
Look at my ass! I'm showing you my ass! Aren't you offended? Look right on my bum! Come on, get offended! Hurt me!
Skew, don't. This could end badly.
Yeah? Why should you care?
Because you're my friend.
Oh yeah? Really? Really? What do you mean that?
Yeah. Come here, give me a hug. Get in here.
This is so fucking weird.
Oh! You trapped me! I knew it! It was a fucking trap!
Don't worry, she won't hurt you. Again. Right? Hoverbird?
I can't promise anything.
Just keep him away. Why?
We'll find him, don't worry. But you have bigger things to worry about.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, you do. Whether you like it or not.
Make me.
Okay.
What are you... Nope. No, don't do that.
Shut!
Better fling that thing far away or the big fella will come and get ya. Ah! Throw it! Now! Throw the beacon!
Throw it at the what?
What are you... Nope.
What am I supposed to
don't
do?
Do that.
Shoot at the jungle
Better
gun.
fling that thing far away or the big fella will come and get ya. Throw the beacon! Throw it! Now!
This is...
Throw the beacon!
I'm trying to throw it!
Throw it! Now! Throw the beacon!
Am I not doing it correctly? What the
Throw it!
fuck?
Now! Throw it! Now! Throw the beacon! Throw it! Now!
Okay. I grabbed the ball, and then
No,
what?
don't do that.
Better fling that thing far away or the big fella will come and get ya.
Throw
Throw the
it
beacon!
here.
Throw the beacon!
Bitch!
Nope.
How?
No, don't do that.
Better fling that thing far away or the big fella will come and get ya.
Okay, now the botch is bugged. Well, it's not gonna get me now. Alright, fine. Oh, wait, the bot glitched out. Oh no. God. It bugged. Oh, I can still proceed.
Are you crazy? Yeah, you're fucking crazy. Yeah. You could have got me fired.
That's nothing compared to the millions dying out here.
I'm not part of your fight. You hear me?
But what if I'm part of yours?
Is this some kind of reverse psychology trick? This is not working.
Just let me show you one thing.
We're not supposed to be here.
I think it'll change your mind. In exchange, I'll help you find your robot friend.
No.
Just one thing.
I just want to go to bed.
Oh, just live a little. If nothing else, you'll be better at playing fetch than ever before.
I don't play fetch.
Shh!
Don't you shush me.
Hide. In the nook. Right here. Quick!
I
You're
am.
not supposed to be here.
After hours, the bots see you as vermin. If they spot you, security will tear you apart. No questions asked.
I tear apart, you mean?
Head, off neck, blood fountain, death.
Oh.
Yeah. Come, the coast is clear. Follow this way. I'll scout ahead. Back soon. Don't forget to hide.
What? Don't leave like this. Oh, damn.
Yeah, we're good, we're good. We Gucci, we Gucci. No issue, no issue.
Good. You found it. Come. This is where it gets tricky. The workabot could come from any direction. Sooner or later, we'll bump into it. And with that,
If I get caught, that's it. Fired on the spot.
Okay, that's one. That's two. Where am I supposed to go? Oh, I see. Wait, I cannot go there. I don't know how the fuck did I just go through that, but I just did. Easy.
All
Don't get caught by those.
and responsibly sourced from our network of trusted global farmers. Our meat
Wait, how do I go through?
happy animals, all of whom live there
How do I go through this one?
under the most natural and most So much so.
Maybe I can get in? Not sure what am I supposed to do here. Am I doing something wrong? Oh shit, didn't see it. Oh fuck. Okay. Oh shit. Go, 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 go! I cannot move. Oh. Okay. Alright. Oh, it is releasing on VR. And the demo is kind of like, I'm gonna be honest. That could be a little bit better. But okay. At least it's, you know, playable. I don't know. My standards not that high on this stuff. Alright, next one. This is also on Steam. I mean on Twitch. Damn, a lot of these are like recognized by Twitch already or registered on Twitch. Which is good. Okay, did I crash it? Oh. Yeah. Hey. Ooh. Here. Alright, save. Oh, I'm controlling this? The music is a solar system inspired by traditional mbira music from Zimbabwe. Oh, I don't know what I just do. Whoa, the art's pretty fucking nutty. Whoa, 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 whoa! Okay, hold up. Why is the audio so low now? Oh, I see. What kind of puzzle is this? Okay. Okay. Alright. Replay puzzle? No, 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 no. What? Okay. How do I go next? Oh, I gotta find it. Boom. Okay. We're getting somewhere. I'm not ruining it. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. It's in the making. Enjoy the process. I did not... Okay. Wait, am I supposed to cover a lot of it? A lot of the land? No, I don't think so. Okay, it's getting hard. Oh, this is the instrument. Kalimba. Westernized version of the original instrument called mbira. The instrument is so-called lemmelflophone that you play by plucking little tines. I played this before. Oh, what is this? That's not bad. I'll take that. Damn. I just made that. Alright. Next one is mpopon. Most of the music played on kalimba or mbira are cross-rhythm or polyrhythmic. In original music is left in the left hand plays the bass line on the instrument, while the right hand plays the upper melody. Ooh, we're about to learn some shit, chat. Okay. Ooh, this one's so cheerful sounding. Oh shit. No, 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 no. I see what's going on here. There we go. I block your mom. Okay, I kind of fucked up. Oh, I see what's going on. No. What? puzzle brain. Oh no. Wait, how do I solve this one? Shit. I don't know. I don't know how to do this one. Oh wait. Wait, what? Oh. I can only do it like this. Wait. Yeah, like this. Just not perfect. Oh, I get it. What? Huh? Okay, this is down only one and then left. Hold up. Then left. Oh wait, you mean like this? Oh wait, I haven't tried this one. Hold up. Oh! You want to utilize the fucking thing. Okay. Thank you. You want to utilize the thingy thing to make a... Yeah. Alright, cool. I fita. Oh, I know how to do this one. Boom, bing, bang, boom, bing, bam, boom, ba. Hey. Not this one. What? That's the instrument? Oh. Yeah, I'll take that. That's pretty good. I read a stand-up comedy. Can you take a riddle too? My brain's kind of papesia right now, but sure, you can try. I can promise anything. The mbira or kalimba is also called a lamellophone. The instrument is playing by plucking little tines. When plucking the time, the adjacent tine also creates vibration, giving the instrument its a characteristic sound. All right. Okay. 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 Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm not sure how to do this one. Oh. Oh. Huh? Oh, I found it. There we go. Ooh, melody. I'm in chorus. I'm in court. Fuck. Hey. Hey. Yeah. Easy. Oh, no, 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 no. You gotta go here first. And then hold it here. And go here. Bing, bang. Bum. Bum. No. Okay, why is this hard? Oh, okay. Eh? Okay, my brain is too fucking dang for this. Maybe like this? Okay, no, that's not what I meant. How do I get this? I'm so fucking confused right now. Oh, never mind. We got it. Some of the puzzle actually need. You actually need to think. Fuck my brain, bro. Oh my god. Oh shit, dude. Why I cannot see it on this one? Wait. No. Huh? Am I dank? Bro, what? Nani? I actually don't know how to finish this one. I feel like my brain's too fucking dank for this. Nani? No. I think we have to start from the side. And then we progress through. No. Oh, wait. I think I got it. Oh my god, I actually got it. Bro. Holy shit, this is actually hurting my brain. Holy shit. No, fuck. Easy. Marimba, a percussion instrument consisting of wooden bars is struck by rubber mallets. The modern Zimbabwean marimba was developed in the 60s at the Kwanongoma College in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe, with the intention to teach children music in school. Nice. No. Oh, it doesn't have enough for that. Shit. Oh, Venice! Thank you for the raid. Okay, I'll take that. Thank you for the raid, Venice. How you doing? How's your stream? Hope it was a good one. What up, what up? Welcome to the stream. I'm just playing some... What is that? 18? Already finished this. Oh my god. Finish We're Here Forever. Hey, good shit. How's it? German electronic music from the 60s and 70s inspired by the music on the solar system. Ooh, we're going to German. From Zimbabwe to German. Let's go. This is nice. We're basically learning traditional instrument from Jesus Christ. From several countries. Exactly, played for 10 hours, split for 3 days. Hell yeah, good shit. Some of the most famous band from this period are Kraftwerk. Yo, I know Kraftwerk. I know some of their songs. Tangerine Dream, New, and Dutch Amerikanische Freundschaft. I don't know. Ooh. Okay. Hey. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Where do I start? Ooh. What? Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Oh god, it's a Portal style. My brain is hurts. What is going on? My brain is hurts. Let me lower it down. This one's pretty hard. Loud. And tried out V Rising. Hell yeah, that's a good game. How'd you liking it? Ooh. Okay. Okay. Oh, no. I missed. No! Oh, come on, dude. I keep doing it. Alright, there we go. You confuse at first? Yeah. It takes a... get used to until you can really enjoy it. But it's a pretty good game, yeah. Let's see, what instrument is this? Isn't this just a Korg? It is! Synthesizer. The most well-known synthesizer are the ones with a keyboard. The synthesizer can produce a wide range of sounds and noises. The sounds generated various oscillator, filters, and electronic circuits. Hey, I told you I know my EDM. Hell yeah. I think I cannot do more than a longer loop. Let's see how far we can go. I'll take that. I'll take that. That's pretty bad. No, that wasn't. Yo, what the fuck? We gotta stop me halfway there, bro. I was actually enjoying that. Oh fuck. At least let me finish the whole German section. God damn it. Alright, that was actually pretty nice though. Hello. Can I exit the game? Alright, Alt F4. That was Rytmos. I'm actually really interested to play that game on full. Hold up. Did I wish listed it? No, I did not. Forgot. Let me wish list that. That was pretty nice. I enjoyed that. A little bit knowledge as well. All right. Next one is a game. Oh, this one's gonna be nice. This one's gonna be interesting because it is another horror game. Hey. I mean, I'm excited, but not at this hour. I'm gonna be honest, but hey. Next game is a game known as. Whoa, setting on launch, that is always a good game. If the game starts with settings, that is a sign of a good game. Not always, but most of the time, yes, it is. Pixel sick, okay. Hitting pixel perfect. CRD effects? Nah, that's too blurry. Enough immersion just to make it cool, but not annoying. Vibration. Oh, we gotta play this on controller. Cause this is a PlayStation 1 shit. Alright. PlayStation Connect, controller connected. Oh, okay, that's not. Oh, okay, that's what it means. Okay. Sprint style. Hold. Sticky. Sprint. Let's do sticky. Aim style. Hold. Swap aim controls. Nah. Quick radio. Reload fire, use tool, ready weapon. Okay, alright. I think we're good. Done. Alright, the name of the game is called. Some part of this game may be considered violent or cruel. SIGNALIS. Now I'm pretty hype about this one. I'm actually waiting for this game to be fully released because it is basically a good nod to the PlayStation 1 era of horror game, which I grew up with. So, and it looks pretty fucking good based on the trailers, so yeah. Let's check it out. Oh damn. This is the main menu. Holy shit! Okay, this game is quality, bro. Achtung, Achtung. Oh, is this a German devs? Is that Japanese? Wake up. Okay. Ooh. Alright. It's pretty cool. It's the map. Alright. Wow. Straight to the game, no tutorial. Alright, fair enough. Data photograph is stuck to LDAM controls. Pick up photograph, yes. The landing and docking assist monitor, if no use for me now. The ship's control panel, judging from readout, there's no chance it'll ever fly again. Oh motherfucker, I'm already here. There's a fucking monster waiting outside. Are you shitting me? For control panel, there's been critical system failure of the hard landing. Ship's control panel, it's lost cause. So I'm assuming we were on a deep sleep and we woke up with the ship on a hard crash. That's so cool. Oh shit, it's someone. There's an Ava suit in the case. Okay, I need to access that. It's locker B. Penrose 512 airlock controls, insert keycard. Ah, shit. Alright, we'll go back here later. There's a gun. Repair spray. Scribble note. 2780MW 1300 3850. Can I not pick that up? Hello? God damn. It's not helping, bro. 2780 1300 3850. I don't... Wait. Single player gun to fill damage area, polyurethane base, expanding foam, restore a large amount of health over time. Oh, it's healing! Alright, cool. Shut the fuck up! Long lock from the other side. Okay. I need a gun. Serving our great nation as ship technician aboard the scout vessel of the Penrose program, LSTR type, replica like yourself are equipped with a specialized repair logic module, allowing them to quickly and easily repair both themselves and important mission equipment. Accessing the RLM functions, enter the inventory screen by pressing the inventory key, blah, 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 blah. Combine, you can combine, interaction, use, inspect mode, okay. Oh shit! Type 75 short recoil operated lock breech semi-automatic pistol chambered in 10x 20mm. Available versatile handgun is a standard issue sidearm for Aeon protector. Controller staff. Equip, aim key, attack, interaction, reload. Try to finish it off by kicking or hitting it with a baton to preserve ammunition. Oh shit, it's an analog. An analog aiming. Oh boy, it's gotta be fun. Okay. Come here! How do I kick? Oh, X. Okay. Shit. I used too many fucking ammo there. Penrose-type vessels of the Usian People's Navy are low-cost space exploration vessels deployed beyond the solar system's edge in search for planets and moons fit for habitation of rich in natural resources to support the continuous growth of our great nation. Alright. Efita. So I'm a cyborg? I'm not a human? Or a robot, I guess? Reactor cell maintenance. On board, nuclear powered. Powered with rich fuel can be individually controlled by adjusting the position, raising a rod, will increase the power output, or increase the temperature. Attack the reactor from dangerous heat. The control system will only accept full rod below some average reactor temperature of 700K. Because a vessel collision of hardware after landing, always check fuel rod 700K. Gotcha. Noted. Oh, fuck. Okay, I see what's going on. I don't remember. Ay, fita. I gotta go back there. Okay. Wait, hold up. I gotta take notes. This one. Okay. Not wasting my ammo for you, bitch. 27. Okay, I gotta take notes for this one. 2780 blank 1300 13850. Holy head god. Alright, cool. Okay. Are we playing horror game at 2 AM in the morning? Okay. 2780. I was right on the first one. 1300. Easy. And then 3850. 50. Now we need 700 Kelvin, so that means this should be wait, isn't that Among Us sound? I swear that's an Among Us sound effect. I swear to God. Sussy baka. More ammo, let's fucking go. Let me guess, I have to combine this. Yeah. Oh, storage. Oh, I have limited amount of item to pick up. Wait. Can I just drop shit? Oh, I can. Okay. Cool, cool. Disposable stun prod. EIG stun prod is a single-use short range. It can be equipped as a tool slot in inventory screen. Once equipped, the use of stun prod simply press a tool key when facing a nearby enemy. High voltage electric discharge may arc an individual close to the target. Used with care, do not deploy an elderly, pregnant, or individual with known heart disease unless absolutely necessary. Dispose of stun prod probably after use. Yay! Equip. Woke up from cryo in empty mess hall. I was wondering, Elster it looking out, flight, do like some lost in thought. Sometimes I feel lonely. Is home. Did learn how to write. I'm kidding. Repair patch. Wait, am I low? No, I'm good. Alright, let's kill some bitches. Hey, fuckface. Yeah, that's right, bitch. Alright, brain. Alright. So one of those guys takes 4 shots to kill. That's gotta be interesting. Okay, I tried. There's another puzzle for this. Are you shitting my ass? Are you shitting my asshole? I don't fucking know. Where am I supposed to get to know that? Hold up. Maybe let's go down. Maybe there's something I miss in the maintenance? No. No, I don't think so. Maybe I have to kill the guy? Repair, interaction key combine, interaction damage replica body. Inspect. Alright. Am I the only NA viewer in this channel? Yeah, I don't get a lot of NA viewers, considering, you know, the schedules are very different. The only reason you're watching is your schedule is not an NA schedule. Alright? Just saying. Ah! Holy fuck! Fuck, man. What am I supposed to do? I don't have the key card yet. Oh my fucking god, there's a fucking password in the back of the photograph. Ah! Are you kidding me? I did. I forgot it's an old game. That's a thing. So it is like this. Yeah, it should be it. Oh. There you go. Hello? Oh, Jesus. Who's there? Hello? Oh, it's empty. Oh, wait. No space to carry airlock key. Mother fudder. Shit. Alright, I think we can stash the photograph in the stash. We need this healing item, gun, ammo, yeah. Kinda need the rest. Tubes of key snap in half lie inside the cryogenic pod. Pick up airlock key. Snap in half? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Can I even still use it? I don't think so. Oh my god. What do I even do with this? Wait. Shit. Okay. I thought you used that. Okay. Five, 1, 2. Penrose 5, 1, 2. Emergency landing. Emergency beacon. Penrose 512. So receiver 91 for emergency beacon 511. Penrose 512. Wake up. That's creepy. Whoop whoop. Okay. That's good to know. Okay, my health is on yellow. I think I could get some large amount, small amount use. Okay, it is, come on. That's Among Us. Come on. That's Among Us. You cannot say that's not Among Us. They're using Among Us sound effects. Holy shit, that's good. The devs probably don't even know, or like they probably already used it. I don't fucking know, man. That's fucking amazing. It's gotta be a meme though, unfortunately. Okay, how am I supposed to repair a fucking keycard in this place? Hello? Airlock, medical, mess hall personnel. Change floor. Flight deck, reactor, stern hull, personnel. Which is impossible. Enter the inventory screen by pressing inventory key. Select the item to repair with the left or right directional. Open a menu. Combine. Combine select a second item to repair by using the left and right directional parallel instruction again. And combine both items to repair damage or replica body. Select the suitable repair item and simply choose to use. Something can be helpful to take a good look at an object from all sides. Inspect below. Inspect mode. So yeah, the game is basically telling me to fix the cart with my fucking thing, but it doesn't work. Bitch ass. What does he do? Ha! Am I missing something? Oh. The fuck? Status critical system failure detected. Location unknown. Planetary surface. Cruise status A young. Gestal pilot no signals. LSTR 512 replica unit active. Mess hall. That's me. L-star. I'm just gonna call myself L-star. Hard landing on surface has damaged critical system. So the captain. A young is, oh my god, it's a fucking adhesive tape, brother. Up. Holy shit, how am I supposed to? Wow, you actually have to really interact with every single wall, because I didn't even know that was interactable. The fuck? Okay, this game is fucking nice though. Demo ends probably. A game by Rose Engine. Yo, this is fucking nice. I'm actually liking this. Oh, we're not done. Oh my god, this game is being nice. Okay. Oh shit. It's the one from the intro where we're supposed to go. The fuck is this place? There's a strange hole leading deep into the ground. There's a faint light glowing in the deep. Roll into the hole, yes. Oh, the interaction is so fucking cool. This is such a cool... Oh my god. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. It's such a cool way to... Look at this. The first person perspective. An ancient looking tome is lying on the table. It feels like it's calling to me. Pick up the king in yellow. The king in yellow. Hello? Preparing to send message. Achtung. Achtung. 39486. 39486. 394x6. Oh my god. 60170. Huh? Alright, calm down. Okay. There's no way I have to memorize this. Great holes secretly are digged where earth pores ought to suffice. Oh wow, oh no. What happened to me? And things have learned to walk that ought to crawl. Remember our promise. Oh my god. Wake up. Bro, okay. Holy shit. Why is that so good? Holy shit. Bro, I want more. Oh, fuck. This game's released like on October, if I'm not wrong. Oh, we're playing this day one. I'm actually a big fan now. Such a cool fucking game. Alright, that was SIGNALIS. What? Why is that so good? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I actually got goosebumps there at the end. The ending cutscene. That was actually fucking something. Alright. Yeah, it's pretty cool style. And I think that also the end of the stream. Oh shit. Oh shit. I just realized it's already almost 3 AM. 6.5 hours. Yeah. Whoa. Summer Game Fest? Yo, the future thingy thing is still going. Well, let's check it out this real quick. Apparently, there's still some shit going on. Wait, did you just say coming 2099?
That was the Entropy Center, which is coming to PC and consoles in
Wait,
2022.
this looks dope.
Next up, we've got a special presentation from some incredible Ukrainian developers. Games development can be challenging at the best of times, and with the ongoing conflict, we wanted to highlight and celebrate
Alright,
the
hold up. I
incredible
wanna
work
check this
they
out real quick.
continue to do. Let's take a look.
Check this out real quick and then we're chilling.
On February 24 at 5 AM, our cities were bombed.
Oh shit, CC.
The war drastically changed game development.
During the first months of war, the work on the game was mostly stopped.
We sleep in shifts, and regular air raid alerts have made us move to our apartment's hallway pretty much permanently.
My teammates Ruslan and Xu have spent a week inside Kharkiv metro, covering from never-ending airstrikes, and had to reach the city railway station by underground tunnels to evacuate.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex from Weasel Token, an indie duo based in Kyiv, Ukraine. Our current project is a peaceful puzzle adventure called Puzzles for Clef. The story's premise is quite simple. Following an invitation from her sister, a young bunny girl named Clef travels to the Sky Island of the
Clef-like
to
music?
participate in a huge treasure hunt. But of course there would be some interesting twists for those willing to dig deeper.
Whoa, the
Gameplay-wise,
arts.
you'll get to explore the island with tons of secrets all over the place, solve a variety of puzzles, befriend cute and whimsical locals.
Oh, it's
From time to
a
time you'll also need to
musical
go and
theme
play some
puzzle.
special melodies that influence the world around you. We would really appreciate it if you followed Weasel Token on social media. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Please wishlist and follow Puzzles for Clef on Steam. That helps a lot. Also join us on our Discord server. We always enjoy talking to our fellow gamers.
Hi,
go.
My name is Vitaly, and I represent Marvel Collective. Together, we are working on Zero Losses, a short, open-world driving game with horror elements and hollow atmosphere. Zero Losses is our inevitable reaction to the events surrounding us. While most games about war focus on action and combat, we wanted to bring a different perspective, filled with oppressive, dark atmosphere, showcasing the unsettling aftermath of the modern warfare. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube. Look for Marvel Collective.
Hi everyone, I'm Original Act and I'm working on This Rain Will Never End. This Rain Will Never End is a noir adventure detective point-and-click game about a cat detective who tries to solve the murder of ex-mayor of the Sunny City and also tries to solve the mystery of never-ending downpour. You can subscribe to my social networks, Twitter, Instagram. Also, you can wishlist This Rain Will Never End. Thank you very much. Glory to Ukraine.
Hello world, my name is Andriy Bychkovsky. I'm indie game developer originally from Kyiv. Together with a small team, I'm working on a turn-based Mars colony city builder called Farlanders. In my games, I'm always trying to make some unique mechanics to stand out. Except for colony building, the core mechanic in the game is terraforming. Also, in the game you can learn new technologies, trade with other colonies, and explore underground caves. So to summarize, if Farlanders seems like your cup of tea, wishlist it on Steam, or try out Farlanders Prologue, which is already available for free.
Hi, my name is Albert Konyer, I am the developer of the indie game Through the Nightmares. Through the Nightmares is a hardcore platformer about Sandman that travels in the mysterious and frightening world of the children's nightmares.
This looks nice.
The player will have to overcome all children's fears and fight with the almighty god of dreams, Morpheus. If you want to support us, visit our Steam page, add the game to your wishlist, play the demo, and give us your feedback in any possible way.
That's cool.
Head on over to gamesradar.com for more information on our Games for Ukraine presentation and a list of charities that would welcome your support.
If you like the animation series Gravity Falls or Over the Garden Wall, you're going to love our next game. Lost in Play is a puzzle adventure that follows two siblings lost in their own imagination.
Well, she sounds like TTS, the fuck? Oh! Damn, this is actually like Graffiti Falls. Gravity Falls graffiti. Drugs, don't do drugs. This guy's just high, don't worry. What? What? Oh, what?
Lost in Play lands on PC and Nintendo Switch.
Oh, that's part of the
10th,
game.
2022.
Okay, what the fuck?
You know what? We're approaching the midpoint of the show, and I could kill for a nice, refreshing drink. Is there any Redanian lager lying around?
Spoken like a true witcher. We don't have any real beer, but this next trailer is sure to quench your thirst.
Wait, is the host Gerald's voice actor? The fuck? Should mention that. Wait, is this beer simulator? This song. Yelly, brother. How do you actually make beer? I actually never know. Jesus, this looks like some fucking Brewmaster, beer brewing simulator.
I think that's done the trick. Brewmaster is coming to PC and consoles in 2022 with a demo available right now on Steam.
Next, let's check out an exclusive trailer for Bramble, the Mountain King, a puzzle platformer heavily inspired by Nordic folklore.
Nordic.
Hello everyone, my name is Eleanor and I'm the lead artist at Dimfrost Studio, and today
Trailer
I'll
contains
introduce one of our
description of
creatures
bullying
that can lead on
or
your
physical
journey in Bramble
abuse.
the Mountain King, a grim adventure based on dark Nordic fables. Necken is just one of our favorite creatures from Nordic folklore, found in cautionary tales meant to scare children from going too close to the water.
Jesus
in Bramble, Necken is a lonely creature, living in a lake luring people with his music so enchantedly that they would drown.
The fuck?
In his past life, he was just a simple man who loved playing his violin. Unfortunately, the village didn't appreciate his talent and people would frequently bully him. The only soul that didn't was a girl that Necken fell in love with. One day, the bullying and beating became so severe that Necken's anger finally overtook him.
One bad day.
He marched into the village, playing forbidden melodies that made everyone dance until their flesh and bone got worn down. They eventually died, leaving behind shuffling corpses still trying to dance to Necken's melodies.
What the
His
fuck?
love wasn't spared death either. Devastated, Necken left the town and lived by the lake, drowning in his sorrow, luring people with his deadly music.
The query's out, yes.
Necken is just one of the creatures you'll meet in Bramble the Mountain.
Are you interested?
You will meet many more, both big and small, good and evil on your journey throughout the beautiful yet deadly world of Bramble. Bramble the Mountain King is coming soon to PC and consoles. Be sure to add Bramble to your wishlist. Thank you for watching.
Harley is on mostly positive though. It
I
goes
know a
up.
Necker when I see one. Bramble the Mountain King is coming soon to PC and consoles.
Okay, now I'm no mobster, but I've got an offer that you can't refuse, in the form of a world premiere.
World premiere. Can the game actually do like co-op?
Has always been divided into people.
I kind of want to co-op on that game if that's possible.
Who want to get it at any cost. And in the middle of this conflict are also those who just fight on one side or the other. Unknown heroes or villains. Perhaps the right choices can be written on the pages of one story or another. The best way to get rich is sometimes to get remembered.
What?
Each single struggle will be the fight for your life as enemy of the state.
Oh no, the gameplay. Oh,
Enemy of the State is coming to PC and consoles in 2024. Now, we've had so many amazing trailers, but I think it's time for a break. Tea? Coffee? Ale?
Oh, I've got something better than tea. You just have to follow me through one of my portals. No need to be afraid, though. We have done this before.
This never ends well for me.
Wait, it is The
God.
Witcher.
Where am I?
Voice actor.
So right.
I'm in
What's
Gerald.
that smell? Lilac and gooseberries?
No, Doug. This is the virtual show floor. Every booth in here has a game attached, with a demo going live after the show. Google Future Games Show Steam to find the dedicated page and try out any of the games you like the look of.
Let's go. Just when you thought you'd had enough of being tarnished this year, we've got a fantasy RPG set in the ruins
Being
of two
tarnished.
divine kingdoms.
Nice.
The Tarnishing of Juxtia features awesome boss battles, high risk, high reward combat, and a beautiful score to boot. It's also launching later this year in summer 2022. What's next, Denise?
From one ruined kingdom to another, let's take a look at the grimdark world of Orcs. A blend of tower defense and deck building
already seen
gameplay, Orcs invites players to fortify castles and expand their territory while fighting against an onslaught of, you guessed it, Orcs. With over 300 cards and 4 factions to play with, Orcs is coming to PC later this year.
Over here, we've got a point-and-click inspired by the LucasArts classics. Let's check in on A Twisted Tale. With hand-drawn backgrounds and a catalog of comical characters, this old-school adventure will have you giggling and traveling to broken cities, mighty pirate ships, deep jungles, and more. Inspired by games like Slay the Spire and Monster Train, here comes a rock and roll roguelite, where players use musical abilities to fend off a mosh pit of monsters. This diverse deck builder is a bona fide battle of the bands, where you assemble a team of vicious virtuosos to defend against hordes of demons. Reptilian Rising is a turn-based tactics game, where you take on a barbaric horde of lizards and futuristic robot dinosaurs. Fighters from across time are recreated in a retro miniature format, in a true homage to the tabletop style of the 1980s. Reptilian Rising features multiple replayable levels with lots of bonus objectives, and you can also challenge fellow players in online PvP to see which tactician ends up on top. Think less I am the danger and more I am the savior. Potion Permit is a cute chemist simulator from Mass Hive Media. With rich pixel art and a soaring score, you'll gather ingredients to brew precious remedies that help the townsfolk of Moonbury. Pack your satchel because Potion Permit is coming to PC and console in 2022. Next up, we've got a gorgeous rhythm game set in a world where dreams and reality collide. Melatonin from Half Asleep Games pits players in a pastel world where they must unravel a narrative by engaging in charming challenges complemented by a bouncy, vibrant score. Next up, we've got a musical adventure about two best friends trying to make it in the big city. Once Upon a Jester follows Jester and Sock as they try to develop a dynamic, improvisational theater show worthy of the Royal Theatrical Spectacle. Decide your genre, listen to the crowd, and make valuable friends in this handcrafted lo-fi odyssey. If you've ever wanted to play tag in a graveyard full of ghouls, then this game is for you. Bail or Jail is a creepy, cute, asymmetrical multiplayer game from Konami. Players have 3 minutes to round up runaway humans
what is
or
Konami
escape the
doing
grasp
here?
of malevolent monsters, each with unique
is
abilities.
this?
And that's a wrap on the virtual show floor. Remember to head to the Future Games
What
Show
is
Steam
Konami
page
doing
if you want
here?
to play these beauties after the show free of charge. And just one final reminder that
This
you
is
can
indie
Google Future
developers,
Games
bro.
Show Steam to download all those demos
What are they
after the show.
doing?
Winds howling. I think that means there's another world premiere on the horizon.
Oh my god. Konami's down bad. That Kojima.
Peggy 18.
Oh shit, 18? Oh shit. Oh shit. Sally. Yeah. Frank. Gameplay, alo. I'm good. Oh my god. Inside.
That was your first look at Sunday Gold, which is coming in 2022.
Our next game is coming to VR platforms, but I doubt you'll be able to keep your fancy headsets on for too long when you're playing. Let's take a look.
Horror? VR? Oh my god. Ow, fitta!
¿Qué está pasando aquí?
What is that language?
Han, ¿dónde estás? Julia, espera. Esta es mi casa, pero tal vez no lo es.
Jesus Christ. Do not open. Wait, it's only for PlayStation? Oh, Steam, okay.
I'll pick Hide, please. Do Not Open is coming to VR platforms in fall 2022.
Now it's time for an update on Bright Memory Infinite, FYQD Studios' hectic shooter.
Oh shit, they got updates. Oh, I'm down.
Shelia, according to info from the front lines, General Lin's unit has arrived at the scene.
General Lin?
The top dog at SAI. They say that tech-wise, even we here at SRO can't hold a candle to these guys.
Roger. I'll move cautiously.
This game was like alright.
It's been a while, Shelia.
But since I already bought the game,
We'd meet like this.
I'm done for some expansion.
Once it's all been poured out, a new world will be born.
What the fuck?
But you're too late. Once I finish pouring this primordial flood over Earth, the black hole will change the world.
Shelia, respond. What happened? Shelia!
I don't know what the fuck is going on. Oh shit, we got skill. Oh! Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course, dude.
Bright Memory Infinite is out now on PC and is coming soon to PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch.
Of course, man.
Next up, we've got a gothic horror Metroidvania that looks like a pixely version of Bloodborne. Let's check it out.
Oh shit, he says Bloodborne. Yo, don't freak the people out in the chat. Oh, it does look like Bloodborne. Jesus. You got the Bloodborne gothic aesthetic. Bloodborne ever come to PC? I'm playing PC. It's not worth it. Jesus, yo, chill. Oh my god. Okay, bro. What the fuck? Nice.
The Last Faith is coming to PC and consoles in 2022.
Now, let's check in with our friends from Team 17, who have a montage of exciting upcoming games to show us.
Team 17? 18. Isn't that, aren't they a, like, publisher?
Come on, Frank. We need to vacate these premises now.
Oh, compilation. Hey, Thymesia. Ding, ding, ding. Autopsy.
Let's move on straight to our deceased.
This one I'm interested.
Well, who do we have here today?
Ew. Wait, I just realized I never played Bright Memory Infinite. I only played the prologue. Oh. Oh, it released on November last year. But I never realized it. Okay. Well, looks like we got another new game to play. Hey, MOBA. The Night Witch. When is autumn? Autumn is like Q3, right? Killer Frequency. Monka Giga. Oh, it's a VR game. Jump scare. Yeah. What? Like, come on. That's the build-up is. Come on, man. That's too obvious.
Be sure to wishlist any games that stood out, and you can read more about them on gamesradar.com.
Have you ever wondered what the bugs in your house are doing when you're out?
Not really. Probably just making a mess.
You'd be surprised. try complex governmental structures and organized religion. At least that's the brief I've got for Tinykin, which is up next.
What? So much horror? I think it's because last year, a lot of the horror developers are still making the game. And at the same time, they were done developing this year.
Welcome to the fascinating world of
Because last year, we don't get a lot of horror game.
Tinykin are extraordinary little creatures. Alone, they rarely pose a threat. But in great numbers, they are exemplary.
Oh, this is like the Nintendo.
Look, here's some now.
Aww.
Ah, the purple Tinykin. Extremely powerful.
What is it called? The
despite their
Nintendo version
small
of this?
stature.
Where you control the bugs.
Look here, green Tinykin. Extremely resourceful in reaching daring new heights. Stand back, unless you want a blue Tinykin to zap you with a powerful electric current. And that's everything. Wait, what's this? Well, look.
Explosive.
There's Daniel, a red Tinykin. Adorable. With an immensely fiery temper.
That's cute. It's actually cute. Yeah, Pikmin.
Tinykin is coming to PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch.
You know when you're finished cleaning, but you realize you missed a bunch of crumbs? It's like, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Yeah, it's like when the boss orders a hit and you've got to go clean it up after hours. Ugh.
Sort of. Maybe this next game is for you.
Okay.
Four people sharing a table on a New Year's Eve. A plate full of troubling memories.
Oh shit, cleaner simulator. Ew.
And a bitter taste of regret.
Mother, should I run for president?
505 Games and Draw Distance are proud to present Serial Cleaners.
Serial cleaner. Oh damn. Hackerman.
A story of loyalty, betrayal, and crime. Lots of crime.
Lots
The past
of
they
crime.
share is all that stands in the way of redemption. If you remember the 90s differently, their dirty work is the reason why.
Damn. This is a cool ass trailer. Not gonna lie. I thought he was sick.
Ah, so that's how you get wine out of a carpet. Serial Cleaners is launching in September on PC, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox.
Do you ever miss taking your shoes off in front of strangers and spending your life savings on a cup of coffee? And boy, do we have the simulator for you.
What? Airport simulator? Okay, listen, man. Listen, buddy. Alright, dude. What? Yeah, I'm good.
Don't forget to renew your passport
No offense.
because Airport Simulator
I'm
is
good.
coming into land on PC and Xbox Series X and S in 2023. Let's break things up with our ones to watch montage. Keep your eyes peeled for several exciting games that are coming in the near future, and check out this awesome bespoke introduction from the team behind Inculinati.
In who? Oh wait, I know this game. I think. Oh, it's. Oh, never mind. Never mind. It's not what I think it was. Fueled up. I hecking love games. Wait, is the multiverse out? I'm actually interested to give it a try. Ooh, what is this? Did the music. What an interesting choice of music. Instinction. Beyond Sunset.
Did any of those games turn your head? Check out gamesradar.com for more information.
Next up, we've got a new game from the minds behind Happy Game, Amanita Design. In Phonopolis, you'll help Felix solve playful puzzles in an avant-garde fiberboard
XQC?
city. We couldn't quite work out how either, but what you're about to see is actual gameplay.
We're helping XQC. Whoa, what the fuck? This is gameplay? Yo, this is sick art style. What the fuck? It's like stop motion. Phonopolis. Okay.
That was Phonopolis, which is coming soon.
All right, thank
now
you.
We've got a subterranean roguelike where you play as a lucid dreamer in a world of endless slumber.
Ah, sleep.
Please.
Bedga.
Please grant us protection from that hideous strength. It casts a shadow as endless as the dream. We all wither within its shade.
Oh, Metroidvania.
Succumbing to all manner of desire, willed into being by the dream. Those who refuse to slake such corrupt thirst are cast into the depths to languish in solitude. Until a voice, strong and sure as their own, whispers in their ear.
This dream is ours. You need only ask for what you desire to will it into being. A safe return, a better world. Simply ask.
Why must you vex me so?
A lost land requires a shepherd.
Just ask, lol.
What manner of shepherd are you, Wolf?
Down here? The only one around.
Don't sleep on being and becoming, which is becoming soon to PC.
Our next game follows a pilot who crash lands in the Arctic after his plane is chopped in half by mysterious forces. But he also has a court-mandated therapy robot called Alfie. Every cloud, right?
Hello, Kai. I thought you
decent company up here.
Yeah, not really. I'm good. Just refill my water. Oh god, what the fuck is this? The 4 is 4?
Donovan? Donovan, you copy? Hey, drone, wake up.
Oh, hello, sir. I must have unexpectedly powered off.
Yeah, so did I.
I do want to help in any way I can, Kai.
You can help by staying out of it. Whoa, get out of here!
Hello? Kai? You out there?
Oh, thank God. I thought I'd lost you.
Was that Donovan I heard on the radio?
What, you're spying on me now?
I got it covered, Boy Scout. Landed by some big-ass silos. A power station, maybe?
Wait, power station? Out here? Hey, Donovan. Donovan, you copy?
What is going on? Arctic Awakening. Is this
no
another
vision, no lasers, no useful functions whatsoever. Can you do anything to actually help?
I am happy to talk it through with you.
Okay. Go on.
Doug, it's your line again?
Oh, sorry. I'm just canceling that trip to Alaska. That was Arctic Awakening, which is coming to PC, Mac, and consoles in 2023.
We've had a lot of fast-paced games in this showcase, but none quite as quick as our next trailer.
Lando
Stay on
Norris.
track and check this one out.
Wait, F1? Wait, I thought we already have an F1 game. Huh?
This is not a challenge for the faint-hearted, where the 20 best drivers in the world come together to take on some of the world's most historic circuits.
F1M
and that
manager.
legacy continues today. It's lights out and away we go.
Samir, you are breaking the car, Samir. Slow down.
There's not much in it at the front, with the two cars constantly vying for first place.
Turn left.
It's a thrilling battle with neither driver giving an inch.
How does this game plays?
We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm not really passionate about F1 in the first place. This is definitely for F1 fans.
I think we should be satisfied with the step we've done, at least here.
Oh no, it's a spin!
Pit lane. Got feedback.
Strap yourselves in. This is Formula One.
Manager 22. Wow.
Who wants to be in the driver's seat when you can be in the driver's seat? Anyway, don't forget to tune into the PC Gaming Show to see the first gameplay from F1 Manager, which is racing onto PC, PlayStation, and Xbox on August 25th, 2022.
There you go.
Put your dukes up, folks, because this next game is a certified DKO.
Wait, what does that mean?
Divine knockout, Doug. Duh.
Huh? Oh, a brawler game. Nah. This looks like a mobile game. Even the trailer is half done. Just recording. DKO.
That was Divine Knockout, which is coming soon.
This again?
Our
Wait, you
next
saw
game
it?
is an adventure epic where you navigate a world full of tricky puzzles with the help of your robo-friend.
It's true that behind every main character there's a smart, talented companion to help them get through it all.
Denise, are you referring to Yennefer?
Well, if the shoe fits, here's Planet of Lana.
Okay. Oh, it's Yennefer's voice actor. This, dude, I'm waiting. I am excited for this game. So excited. It looks so nice. Look at that. Aww, you bring him around. Good boy. I think this is the first time we ever see an actual gameplay. What the fuck is that? Jesus Christ. Yeah, this got the Inside vibe. But like, it's not all depressing. It's like a little bit more family friendly than Inside. What is that? Is that a cat? I think this is supposed to be a cat. Yo. Yeah, this game is epic. I'm down. Aww. Planet of Lana. Release date. Release date. Come on. Come on. Come on. Release date. Ah, bro. Okay, yeah. Alright. Probably at the end of the year then. If they don't even give you a month.
Planet of Lana is coming to PC and Xbox in 2022.
Yeah, it is a pretty
This next
good
reveal
looking
is
game.
a pretty big deal. No spoilers, but let's just say I really didn't see this one coming.
What? Is this a sequel? What? All work and no DP2 Steam port makes Wary a dull boy. Deadly Premonition 2?
How did this happen in my town?
Our world contains phenomena that could never be explained with logic.
Okay, what is this trailer? I mean,
skills to the test.
Deadly Premonition is a
Deadly Premonition 2 is out now on
PS exclusive
PC.
back then.
That's right. Now, today, this second. Go check it out.
It's a pretty.
Based on the notes on my script,
It's
it looks
pretty
like the
interesting.
producers were struggling for jokes on this one. There's something about Geralt hunting a moomin. Honestly, it's not even worth it. This trailer is adorable, and I just need you all to see it.
Oh, we saw this earlier. This one's cute. I'm too small and useless to have a name. No. Oh shit. Burn the rules. Spill the tea. Dun, dun. Wait, I know this song. Siguros! I was about to say. Oh my god, they got Siguros? Bro. I'm down. Hello?
Holy shit. Snufkin, Melody of Moomin Valley is coming to PC and consoles in
They're like
2023
Radiohead on
with a soundtrack
on
from Icelandic post-rock
They're
band
Radiohead, but
Sigur
high.
Rós. Last but not least, we've got a brand new multiplayer survival game that fans of Pokemon are sure to enjoy. Let's check it out.
Wait, isn't this the Pokemon with AK-47? Yeah, it's this one, right? Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, it's Power World. I still have no idea how many shroom did the devs fucking eat. I don't know what the fuck is going on, man. They just shot the Pokemon out of a bazooka. Holy shit. The dev smokes on crack, dude. Holy shit. Oh my god. No. There's shit about with AK. What the fuck is going on? Holy shit. I want to play this game just because it looks so dumb.
Can't wait to check that one out.
Well, it looks like we're at the end of the show. It's been an honor, Doug.
Check the back of your script. I think we missed something.
Okay. Do you also have one more thing written in blood? Is that normal?
Yes, I do, and
what?
no, this is not normal. I'm gonna go sharpen my silver sword.
What? Oh no. One more written in blood? Team Cloud? Oh, another horror game. Let's go. Oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that? Oh my god. What is this, Dead Space 5? Okay, this looks good. Oh, ill! Oh my god.
Now that really is the end of our show. But remember to try out all the demos on our Future Games Show Steam page, and head on over to GamesRadar.com
like literally
for more follow-up coverage on
a
all
year
of the
ago or
games
two.
you've seen today.
I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone involved in this year's Future Games Show, powered
Game's
by
fucking
Mana,
nuts.
and of course you guys watching at home.
I'm Doug Cockle.
And I'm Denise Goff,
And this has been the Future Games Show, June 2022.
Nice. Alright, I'm assuming that was it. We kind of missed the first half, unfortunately. I didn't know this was a thing.
It's lights out and away we go.
Yeah, we already saw some of it though.
Yup.
What is this fighting giant game? Hey, Turbo Golf, we played that.
All analysis conclude that you have most likely survived.
Yeah, this one's definitely a lot better than the expo that we watched before. It's a lot more quality focus. Not bad. Not bad. Whoa, what is that? I do miss some though. Okay.
Mana is the gaming rewards debit card
That
puts
is
the power back
it.
in the hands
That
of players.
is
So
it.
with every quest you complete and every purchase you make, you're earning for the rewards you.
I wonder if God of War is gonna release this year or not.
Just sync your favorite games to your Mana account and start earning.
We haven't seen
rewards.
a hint of God of War so
why
far.
pay any other way?
It's not on State of Play.
Pay with power.
It's not on
Mana. Game the system.
whatever, you know, Summer of Game Fest. I don't think it's gonna be on Microsoft. I mean Xbox and Bethesda, considering it is a PS game. I got a feeling we're not gonna get God of War Ragnarok this year. I mean, I guess that's kind of fucking understandable. It's kind of sad though. I was actually kind of. I mean, it's not like I can play it, but you know, seems like an interesting fucking. I mean, based on the trailer. You know, who knows? Maybe it's gonna release on PC again. Maybe. Probably not, but it's okay. Alright, I think that's all. I think that is it. Like, that is literally it. More nothing for today. Now we just have to wait for tomorrow. Dude, tomorrow, oh man, midnight. I think we do have some time for it. Yeah. Hopefully it's gonna be a good time though. Hopefully. Xbox Bethesda, come on. Starfield, man, Starfield. I just want to see some Starfield. And then I'm good. I'm happy. Alright, chat. I think we are good to go for today, people. G, brothers. Oh shit, bro. Oh shit. After tomorrow, we're gonna have a lot of games to play. Some of them are demos, some of them are already released. So starting on Monday, we're gonna check out a lot of good stuff. Praga Quake. I don't know about that, man. I mean, like, don't get your hopes up too high. Gotta be honest. Actually, hold up. Let me just. What if I Google Quake? Yeah. What the fuck? Unrealist Quake prototype for Game Boy Advance discovered, and Action Quake 2, ancestor of CSGO, now has standalone Steam release. That's it. That's all we got. Yeah. There's no rumors. There's no nothing. There's nothing, man. There's nothing. What about id Software? Okay, god damn it, this news is so fucking scuffed. Nope, nothing. Yeah. What to see you play more VR games? I'm down honestly, but the problem is that there's not a lot of interesting VR games to like, in a sense, to play on stream. You know what I mean? Like that's all. I would love to play it again. Big champion. How many players are there in QC right now? Oh man. It goes all the way down 17,000 to 600. Jesus fucking Christ. We have 17,000. I remember I still played it when it has like, what, 8,000 players, some shit like that. Because I played it when the game was still Bethesda launcher exclusive, which is dumb. I feel like that's also killed the game. If the game never exclusively released on Bethesda launcher, it wouldn't be that bad, honestly. It wouldn't be that bad. 600 cheese, they're doing good. I cannot get a decent game. Yeah, see, Southeast Asia server is still empty. Where did everyone go? No, bro, no. Bethesda. You really fucked up quick. How big is the game again? Wait, no, not install Steam. God damn it. Let's say if I want to download it right now. 30 gigabyte. Holy fuck, bruh. Yeah. Buy platinum. Yeah, no. There's no point in waiting this. It's just dead, man. It's just dead chat. Dead Reno. Symphony. Oh, that's a hentai game. The query. Personal and mostly positive. Also, brain damage got overwhelming. That's good. It was a pretty fun game, not gonna lie. Builder Sim, Green Hell VR. Wait, Cyberpunk's back on top seller? Damn, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Alright. Okay, chat. Anyways, I think we are good to go, people. Are good to go. I'm gonna chill out here. Thank you guys all for watching. That was fun. The main fucking fun stuff is gonna be tomorrow, though. Oh shit. Tomorrow probably gonna stream normally. Because the Xbox Bethesda gonna start the same time as, well, no, 1 hour earlier than Summer Game Fest. 1 a.m. Eastern Time. I mean 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So yeah, just keep an eye out on Discord and Twitter. so you don't miss that shit. But yeah, man. Other than that, I think we're gonna chilling out. Thank you guys all for watching. Appreciate every one of you for chilling on the chat till the end of the stream. Tomorrow's Sunday. I just realized. That means I don't stream normally. So I'm just gonna stream exclusively for Xbox Bethesda. So it's the same thing as Summer Game Fest yesterday, where I will go live 1 hour before the show starts and watch the whole show and then end the stream. Just to stream, just to watch the show. I'm gonna chill out on Sunday. Okay. Anyway, with that being said, thank you guys all for watching. Thank you everyone for chilling in the chat. Thank you, Jigs, Disaster Pain, Aonamida, and everyone else lurking in the chat till the end of the stream. Thank you, thank you. Much love, much love. Gotta thank you, Venice, for the raid earlier. Thank you so much. Lucas as well for the raid. So Venice and Lucas for the raid. Thank you, thank you. Also thank you everyone to follow the stream. Who came from the raid or not the raid. Surprisingly, my stream got into the front page again today, which is I still have no idea how the fuck does that work, but appreciate it anyway for a follow. And then thank you, Aquila TTV, for the 5 months in a row. Thank you so much for the resub. 5 months. Much love. And then Jigs with a 21 months. Jesus Christ. Almost 2 years. Thank you. And both on Twitch Prime. Twitch Prime. Subscribe for free. Insane. Twitch Prime. Don't smash it. And yeah, that is all. As always, if you're new here, don't forget to follow the channel if you're, if you like what you see and all that kind of stuff. Why not? Why not? Follow me on socials, Twitter and Instagram if you like to keep up with my arts and stuff like that. And if you want to hang out with the peeps off stream, you can join our Discord channel on Trap House. In the panel down below, everything is there from socials, Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. Just scroll down and click the big ass image of Leo with those icons. But other than that, I think we're good for today. That is all from me. Thank you guys all for watching. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Much love. And as always, stay healthy and happy. Drink a lot of water. Eat a lot of veggies. And yeah. Stay safe. Take care of yourself because I want to see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Much love. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for Xbox Bethesda. Johnny! Boop, boop. Good night, y'all. Thank you so much for chilling out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.